Good evening. It's 9 p.m. here in Seoul. Thank you for joining us on Arirang뉴스. We begin with South Korea's homegrown rocket, the Nuri, where there's exactly 1 day to go until it lifts off into space for the third time. This time, it's not a test flight as Nuri is embarking on its first proper mission. For more, we go straight over to the Naro Space Center in Goheung, Jeollanam-do Province, where we have our Lee Kyung-eun standing by. So Kyung-eun, first of all, how are the preparations going for Nuri?
Well, good evening, Jiyoung. Well, Nuri now is standing upright, but final stage preparations are still underway. Earlier in the morning, Nuri was transported to the launch site where the erection process began. The next stage was connecting the rocket with the umbilical tower, which tomorrow will be injecting fuel and oxidizer. But that stage is still in process as there was a slight delay caused by sporadic showers in the afternoon as officials here tried to prevent any water from going into the tubes. There's a final round of technical and weather checkups before the Korea Aerospace Research Institute decides whether the launch can go ahead. That announcement will be made by 2 p.m. tomorrow. This is the third time for Korea to send into space what it calls its baby, Nuri, that they put more than a decade into developing. It feels all the more special this time as the Nuri project will now be led by a private company. Take a listen.
As of this third launch, we are transferring all the technologies to Hanwha Aerospace, which will be in charge of future launches of Nuri. That makes this just as important as the first and second launches.
All right, then, what will determine the success of this third launch, and when can we expect to find out?
Well, Jiyoung, if everything goes as planned, Nuri will blast off into the space at 6:24 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be carrying 8 operational satellites, not the dummy satellites or verification satellites like in the first and second launches. And the blast off time is calculated precisely to put the satellites into their destinations. That is the key mission of Nuri's third launch, which will also decide the success of it.
The determinant factor for this launch to be a success is whether the next generation small satellite number 2 enters into the target orbit within the margin of error.
It is going to take about 13 minutes and 3 seconds for Nuri to release the main satellite. It will then shoot out the 7 others at 20-second intervals. All this will take about 923 seconds, meaning the success could be decided in 15 minutes after liftoff. Official confirmation will come at 7:50 p.m. Wednesday. But if there's any change of time of more than 30 minutes from the 6:24 planned liftoff time, the launch will be delayed to a new date between the 25th and the 31st at the same time. Back to you, Jiyoung.
Thank you, Kyung-eun. That was our Lee Kyung-eun live from the Naro Space Center.